Hello everyone, my name is Greg, and today I want to introduce you to a video series idea I had, and I'm going to call it the Piano Gauntlet series. The idea behind the series is I want to share with you guys different ways that I've been using to learn identifying notes on the piano, being able to identify notes when reading sheet music, and also just some different exercises I've been using to build muscle memory into my hands. This website is called musictheory.net. I will post a link to these exercises and the website in the video description down below. So the first exercise I want to show you guys is called keyboard note identification. You basically have a keyboard layout on the screen, and let me walk you through some of the settings first and get this set up. So if you go to the little gear, you'll see that there's a notes area. If you look at this, you'll see that all those notes are turned on. You don't want that to start out. Go ahead and click on these and you can turn off everything. I would leave C, D, and E. Just have 3 of them. Let's go ahead and go back. So now we click back outside. We can see that our chart has updated. Now, I don't know what this note is because I'm just starting on piano, right? So let's go ahead and put that chart on screen that you might have open on another monitor, or maybe you'll have it on your phone or something while playing piano. But you're using it as a reference, right? So I'm now looking at the chart and being like, well, it looks like this should be a C. So I can click on C, correct answer. Now I'm looking at my chart again, right? I have to go back and forth. Okay, this looks like it's a D. Let's click on D. Okay, cool, that works. So you're kind of in this beginning phase where this is all brand new to you, right? Okay, I did C, D, and E. Oh, I know this is C again. I just did that one. Now you start to memorize it, where you don't have to look at the chart. The goal is to not look at your reference chart and be able to just answer the question. Once you get bored of doing this with C, D, and E, then go up to your settings, go to your notes, add 2 more notes, F and G. Okay? You're going to go back to this. F and G are now going to show up as questions. That's basically how it comes down to practicing with this tool. As you get bored and you don't find yourself looking at your chart very often anymore, go and add in the rest of the notes. This may take days, might take you a couple weeks. You could do this for just 5 or 10 minutes a day and you will see progress. Squeeze it in somewhere when you can. It's awesome. That's why I love this. So the next exercise is called staff note identification. And this is basically helping you identify notes when reading sheet music. If you were to try and answer this question from the beginning, you'll have no idea what that note is. So let's go look up a chart again so we have something to reference while we're learning and memorizing. This chart is one I found online, and I like it because it's simple. As you can see on the left, that's called a treble clef, and that's what we're seeing on the left on the website as well. So let's go and configure our settings first. Let's go to make sure we're on treble clef. So that's inside this clef area. Now we're going to look at treble range. Now we don't want to have to memorize all these notes all at once. So again, we're going to reduce this range all the way down to just this note on the line, this note in the gap, and this note on the line. So those will be the only 3 notes that we get presented while we're starting to memorize things. So let's click out of there. Okay, so we've got our first question. What is this? I don't know. Let's go look at our chart. Okay, so we go to our chart. It looks like on this bottom line, it's an E note. So let's go find E. We got it. How about that? Now the one right below E on our chart is going to be that D. So let's go and click on D. Okay, so this is C. Now we have the E, the D. Now this is the C. Let's do a C. So as you memorize this, start to get bored, come up to your settings, go to the treble range, add 2 notes again. Drag that up twice, click out here, rinse and repeat. Your goal that I recommend is to get this to where your treble range is up to here. Now this, if we look at our chart, is a C note. That means that you will be memorizing from middle C, this is called middle C, all the way up an octave to the next C. That's a very important and powerful set of notes to have memorized when you're starting out on piano and you want to read sheet music. I will tell you why in a little bit, I promise. So now, let's say we've done that for a long time, days, we feel good about it. Let's go to the treble clef. Okay, we're gonna go, let's go to the bass clef. Let's go to the bass clef. Our clef is changed on the left-hand side of the screen. Again, we wanna go and change our bass range. Now we're gonna bring the bottom note all the way up to here. So now we just have these 3 notes that will be shown to us. So we're going to click out of here. Okay, we've got this note. I don't know what that is. Let's look at my chart on the bass clef now. So it looks like that is going to be, it's the right below middle C, that is a B. Cool. This one, it looks like that's going to be an A. Okay, there's a C. So we've hit all 3 of our notes. Same thing applies. Do that until you get bored. Do that until you get bored. Eventually, you want to be able to do all the notes down to here. And if we look at our bass clef, this is a C note. So now we're going to be looking at C to middle C, which will be another octave that we have memorized. So yeah, that's kind of this next tool. That's what I would recommend with it. Now, to bring this around full circle, why did we look at the treble clef? Why did we look at the bass clef? One common way of looking at music when playing piano sheet music is if we go up here, go to our clefs, is the grand clef, which this will now match what we have with our reference image that we've been using. So I'm going to click on that. You'll see that now we see treble and bass at the same time. The reason that this is cool is that in piano, a lot of times the bass clef is going to be notes played with your left hand, and the treble clef is going to be notes played with your right hand. That's because middle C on our chart, that one right in the middle, is literally the C in the middle of your piano. So being able to memorize and read that is going to give you a huge jump start when you go learning sheet music. Hopefully it doesn't feel as daunting when you start. You'll have those memorized, you'll be able to see. That's where I was at for a long time, and I have really enjoyed having that done because now I was able to focus on looking at rest, whole notes, quarter notes, chords, all these other things, flats and sharps that you see in sheet music now just kind of come built on top of this bass to where there's slight alterations to these things that you've already learned. Okay, those are the exercises on musictheory.net I want to show you guys. I want to try and get you to a point where you're using left hand and right hand, covering an octave, looking at the grand staff, and being able to read sheet music like that. Do these seem helpful to you? If you have questions about any of this, please leave a comment down below. I will try and answer those. If you guys went about learning this stuff and getting this point a totally different way, I would love to hear your comment down below. I'm still totally a beginner player, and seeing how somebody else got to this point would be super cool to know. Yeah, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.